Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you for clicking on this video, and welcome to those who are new, and welcome back to those who continue to tune in from week to week. So today's video is going to be a relatively short one, but I thought I would put this in a video maybe in hopes to answer some of the questions I have been getting as of late. So quite a few of my older videos have been watched as of late. Welcome all of those who are new to the channel. And so I have been getting questions in those videos, in a couple here and there, email and DM, about fit adjustments that I have made for particular garments, how I figure it out, all of that different type of stuff. And so I'm just going to share with you what I have done in the past and what I will continue to do in the future. So the first thing I want to say is one of the things so far is fit and measurements for any of the pieces that I'll be making. I just started this maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, so it's very recent that I started this. I will begin for any garments that I make, any pieces that I make, I will put in the description box whatever my current measurement is and the size that I cut of that particular pattern. So the past few things that I have made, maybe 4 items that I have made, you will see in the description box everything about that, the measurement and the size that I was. Otherwise, the information is in the video, which may not be helpful, especially if I didn't, notate it or put any markers in the video to figure out what size and whatnot that I made. So first things first, going forward, you will see those notes in the description box, so make sure you check that. So for those who do not know, I am 5'7". I have a 49 full bust. My waist is 43 and 55 for my hip, which always includes the fullest part of my belly, which, let me stand up for you, which for me always includes that part down here. So those currently, at the time that you're seeing this in 2025, October 2025, these are my current measurements. So keep that in mind as I'm talking about some of the adjustments and different things that I consider that I make. And I will also share a few resources, a few books, probably because a couple of these books are really old. Many of you probably already have them. I can still link to them in my Amazon store if you like. Well, I'll just do that. I don't know, when people watch videos, at this point, I'm seeing a lot of comments from a lot of older videos. When I say older, 2, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So maybe somebody who's catching this for the first time might not be aware of these resources, so I will just link them down in the description box. It will be through the Amazon. It's affiliate link. You don't have to use the link, but at least you know these books are available through Amazon. So okay, so make sure first of all that you tune in. Sunday's video will be another elevated look. I'm very excited about it. It is a collaboration, but you all know I've been making, elevating my handmade wardrobe, my casual wear. And so besides making new pieces, I'm also, the pieces that I do make, I'm combining with things I already have, because it was a matter of certain things missing. And so not everything has to be brand new, newly made, but y'all know I like making stuff. So far as fit, some of the things that I have, my journey into fit is one that I don't know for many of you. Actually, I know many of you that watch my channel say you always agree when I say this, but I am a visual learner. So the books that I have, I can admit to you out front, I did not read them when I was trying to figure out how to fit things. One, for me, I didn't know what to call a thing that I didn't know, sloping shoulder or narrow shoulder, or this is why, this is falling off your shoulder. Oh, you need a narrow shoulder. I didn't know any of that stuff until I saw somebody talk about it or somebody told me that's what it was. And so those type of fits, sway back, arm side adjustment, lengthening, shortening, I barely have to shorten anything, but you know, I'm short torso. I'm 5'7" for those who don't know, but I am short in the torso. So most patterns, they fit just fine. Or if they have a crop version for their pattern for tops, I would typically go for the crop version, just because it hits me in a better spot. But for me, it took a while of sewing. I have been sewing since I was younger. My mother taught me how to sew. Then I got in and out of it over the years. And then over the past 9 years or so, I've been sewing on a consistent basis. As a matter of fact, I am one who don't mind sewing everything I wear, down to the panties and the bra. Have not got back to that. I know people who've been watching my previous bra videos are like, okay, did you remake this, or are you gonna make this again? Okay, no, I have not. We're gonna get there. We're having Nikki at the luxury sewing retreat in February, and so very excited about that. But anyway, so with sewing over the years, not knowing how things needed to fit, once I got, because I did go through that whole phase where maybe I was picking out my size on the pattern based off my ready to wear size, and I discovered relatively quick that that just wasn't it, and that I needed to take measurements. But then it evolved to when it was time to I was at the time working with a different pattern company that had a fit clinic, and so I went through the fit clinic with this particular pattern company, and it was an eye-opener. I will say that it was a complete eye-opener and changed my thinking around pattern fitting and how I wanted clothes to fit on me and adjustments I needed to make. I have shared before, I do have on after that fit clinic, and then I went through a fit class with Andrea with Sew to Fit, but it was a different type of fit class. But the combination of that fit clinic and then the fit class I did with Andrea from Sew to Fit, I had a list of measurements, my body, like the from the shoulder to shoulder. And I actually did this again for those who went to the luxury sewing retreat in February here in Texas. My retreat that I hosted, Isabel, who's coming back in February to teach her trouser fitting class, she had us do the measurements again because we're making a top. And then your torso, the length of your torso, maybe your biceps, you know, different measurements. I have the where my waist is, all of the key measurements. I guess I don't have to necessarily name them all off, but all of the key measurements, you know, here, what this is, then my shoulder, here to the end of my shoulder. So then either I can use those measurements to actually do flat pattern measuring, which is I can take this measurement here and put it on the pattern to see, okay, do I need to take off some of this? And most of the time, you all know I do, because I have narrow shoulders, and so if I don't, the seam will end up being down here because it's just this here shoulder piece on the pattern. That's just a great example. It's just too long, and I would need to narrow it. And how I did that. Now, I did a video. If you want to know how I do that, narrow the shoulder, how I do a sway back, how I do an arm side adjustment, I'm going to pop up this video here. I just did it maybe a month ago. It was the Helen's Closet. I forget the name of the tank, but anyway, it was on that top. I showed how I did all of that. I had to revisit, pull out. You'll see me pull out all of my tools and everything that I use for that, because tools are essential, especially when you're measuring your arm side. I have, you all know, I've shared this many times. I have the Curve Runner. This is from Stitch Buzz. And so, you know, different tools and different, do you have to have stuff like, no, you can use a measuring tape because it bends, and you know, you have to be careful, make sure everything is staying in place. You can use that as well. And so through those different fitting things I've had to do over the years, that's, you know, kind of how my fit journey evolved. There is a video. I will list my playlist to my fitting playlist. I will link it in the description box. There is a video where, say you have a top and it's too much fabric in the center back, how to take that out. Up at the top, maybe the bottom is fine, but at the top I show all of that. And there's a couple other videos too, but I will admit, and maybe a lot of maybe other people, you can tell me if you're a sewist, if you've done this as well. So as you all know, I'm on my weight loss journey and continuing in that process. However, what I'm doing is re-losing 35 pounds I have regained back. Right, so I'm in that process. But overall, I had started out at 309 pounds. And so I, lost all this weight. And so as I was losing the weight, I found I did get a little lazy with the fit, because I can really grade between sizing as I was losing weight, and it seemed to work for the most part. There were still times I see in pictures where, yeah, I probably could have still did, sway back here, could have did an adjustment on the shoulders there, that type thing. But what over the past month or so that I restarted, my fit journey is and I know we all ebb and flow, depending on how much time you want to spend on the pattern or look or whatever. But and you all agree, when you have a fit that you like on you, after you made the proper adjustments, you love how it looks on you, you love wearing it. And so after, pretty much all of the pieces I've made, most recently, I've done fit. Even the jacket, the Oriole jacket, I did a lot of fitting there. I share all of that in that video. Check that out. But I will say, taking the time to do those adjustments have helped tremendously. Now, one of the areas that I don't do a lot of adjustments in is on knit garments. Because knit is, for the most part, pretty forgiving, unless something is like extra baggy somewhere. And usually this is where I can still do the grade between sizing in order to accommodate for most things in a knit garment. Actually, my polo dress, which would have been the video before this, I made no adjustments other than going from a 2X down to a 3X, right? And so did I do that I think I did. No, I did a 3X. I did a full 3X. I apologize. I did a full 3X, did not make any adjustments on that. And I showed you, and because of the type of dress it is, I didn't care. Certain adjustments, you can over adjust, over accommodate for something, and then you have other problems in other areas. For that particular knit dress and the look I was going for, it did not bother me. I could have gone smaller in the shoulder and graded out like I normally do, but I didn't. I did a whole 3X, and the shoulder is just ever so slightly off of my off of my natural shoulder. So I really, certain things you just have to figure out what's comfortable for you and what you want to take the time to do. And when you start having, as they call, your TNT patterns, or you use your tried and true pattern, you can always use as your block. Maybe you have a knit top that fits beautiful and you just want to put that on something, another knit item, not knit to woven. Although some of our experts out there probably, y'all good with that, but for me, I'm gonna stick knit to knit, woven to woven to make life easier. But most of the adjustments I make are for my fuller bust, my tummy, narrow shoulders, and my I definitely need to do more sway backs in my wovens. I know that I have not done as many sway backs as I should have in my wovens, and because my back is more narrow, that sway back will really alleviate a lot of the issues that I have had in even garments I made this year that are woven. I'm like, I could have did a sway back on that and took out some of that bunching that you might get in the middle of the back, that type thing. So I hope that answers some questions about different adjustments that I make. And so as I I did this anyway in my videos, but I'll be more purposeful and mindful going forward in if I made an adjustment, why I made the adjustment, because many of you have commented you find those tips useful. I always put it in the video, but like I say, if I make an adjustment, I'll also put it in the description box. So if somebody click on the video, they drop down on the description box, they can see what kind of adjustment I make, and they know that I've showed it, talked about it in the video, and then they can choose to watch the full video so they can catch those parts. So next, I want to share just a few books. I just have 4 here that I would recommend if you don't have to get them. Like I said, initially when I some of these books I've had longer than others, but when I first got Fit books, and I have my other books are up there, when I got some books, it was just, I just didn't understand what they were saying, plain and simple. I'm not a person that normally can read unless I have some kind of intuitiveness of what I'm trying to get to or understand. I can't just pick up a book, read it, and oh, you know, it's all, oh, I get it now. I have to watch I'll go search for a YouTube video on the matter, and I suggest you all do as well. Search YouTube, search Google, and sometimes you'll click on video, and then you'll see if somebody did a video for that thing that you're looking for. And so a couple of books that I'll share with you are, we all know it, the Palmer and Plesh Fit for Real People book. It's a good book. It's really a good book, and it has a lot in here. You know what, and why do I have multiple books? So this is the thing, you might find you need multiple books as well, because it's almost like watching YouTube. I've had several people leave comments, oh, did you watch such and such video, da da da, they do it this way. But if I found a way that I like, even if it's different from someone else, I'll show that, because it's something that I like and I understand. You know, that's what I do. Same with the books. I have these Fit books I'm going to share with you, but it's just certain things in certain books or articles that I just it's like, get to the point. And so remember, if you saw when I did that sway back, I started with this because I couldn't find the article that I always use, and then within that video I end up finding the article, because what I saw and hear how to do a sway back, I was like, this is so complicated. I remember it being easier than this, and I said that in that video, and I stopped and I went through the rest of my stuff over here, and I ended up finding it, and I put the book away and used the printout and I linked to all of that in the description box. But anyway, we got Fit for Real People. So this is everything. This is all of your clothes, you know, dresses, tops, different things like that. They do a lot of tissue fitting, different things like that. I personally don't do tissue fitting. I might hold a pattern up to me, but I don't take the tissue together and try it on. I don't do that. I don't care to do that. You know, to each his own, right? Whatever works for you, that's what you do. The other one by Palmer and Plesh is the Pants for Real People. So this is specifically for pants, and you see I have a few tabs in here, different areas that I looked in, like how to alter for crotch depth is one area that I have tagged here, and then I had this area. I must have been looking at something a while ago for jeans and something with pockets. I don't know what that was, but anyway, but I have so many tabs in here on so much, and so you'll see that link down below. The next book, I think I got this from, I believe somebody might send this to me, or did I find this at the thrift store? I might have found this I feel like somebody sent this to me. Somebody sent this to me, a subscriber. I'm pretty sure. This is the Singer Sewing Pants That Fit. Again, another pants fitting video, and something, I know I had some, yeah, this was sent by a Oh, Miss Joyce. That's the subscriber. I don't know if she still watches my channel, but Miss Joyce, I see the note I have in here. But she sent me this book along with another book. I do remember there was 2 books, and it was a pattern making book. But anyway, this here again, there was something in this book. I don't see it dog-eared unless I turned the page back, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it right now, but there was something in here that made more sense to me than what I saw in here. It's just, you know, if you might have several books that might be the same title, proclaiming to share with you how to do certain things, but just like video style, you resonate. Some people don't resonate with my videos and the things I put up and maybe how I talk about things, and that's okay. That is super okay, because I have several books where certain, you know, something Palmer and Plesh says, I'm like, oh, that's so complicated, let me go over here. You know, you just have to do that. The most recent book I picked up, which I thought this was so good, I picked it up in October 23. Johanna, many of you might follow her, The Last Stitch, here on YouTube. Let me show you. Johanna, because I don't do a lot of fit with knit, when she talked about releasing, I remember when she was, you know, leading up to the launch of this book, I remember thinking, I don't do a lot of fit with knit, but, and I also have her sewing jeans book too, which is really good, but I purchased it because, for one, Johanna is really good, right? She has a few patterns and everything as well, but her instruction from the videos I watched, I understood, and so I was like, let me get this, because I don't do a lot of fit with knit, but I'm happy I have this book, because there are certain things where she's talking about drag lines in the back of knit, how to fix that, back fabric folds in, let me see, there was something like when you have tightness at the hips, can you see that? Tightness at the hips, drag lines at the hips, stuff like that. I have seen that on my knits and whatnot, and so I was like, you know what, that would just be good to have. When to use clear elastic, measuring your armhole effectively. Again, I'll link to this in the description box. It'll be in my Amazon storefront, and I liked it, how to add a dart, do a full bust adjustment, adding a dart into knit, you know, and so yeah, and she might even have a video on this, but some of these things, now that I've been sewing a while, I can open these books with confidence, if that makes sense, and read them and say, oh, okay, now I know how to do that. I mean, I understand what it's saying, because I understand now the result I'm trying to get to, but prior to that, like I say, it started with the fit clinic I did with the pattern company, and then doing the fit class with Andrea from Sew to Fit. That's when it started making sense. And you hear me say a lot, that's when I, you know, that was years ago now, probably what, 5-6 years ago maybe. I don't grade up patterns anymore. I used to buy patterns. I destashed a lot, for those who watch. I had a lot of patterns that were not in my measurement. And so I held on to them thinking, oh, I'll just grade up the pattern. You know, I'll grade up the pattern. Once I learned about fit, my thing is, if a pattern doesn't come within my measurements, cannot fit my current measurements, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not. And so that's it. That's what I wanted to go over today, and just share with you my fit journey, my fit process, and what I plan to do to kind of help in videos going forward. Just, you know, if people have similar measurements or different things like that. Again, my style, my delivery may not be for everybody, and that's perfectly okay. You can just continue to search YouTube for what you're looking for, or search Google, click on video, so you can see, if you're a visual learner like me, so you can see a video on how to do something. But that is it. That's all I have for you today. Stay tuned for Sunday. Like I said, that will be a fun collab video that I'm looking forward to. And so yeah, that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below. Thumbs up this video if you found it helpful. And yeah, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. You all have a blessed rest of your week, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.